Do you know what nemesis means? A righteous infliction of retribution manifested by an appropriate agent. Personified in this case by a horrible cunt. Me. Gentlemen,
PlayStation's Herman Hulst came out last week and said that PlayStation's first-party titles are only going to be a year after release coming to PC. And with that, the multiplayer games are going to be day and date. Well, for the majority of them, probably all of them. This is a good thing. I don't see how anyone would see otherwise, except for PlayStation fanboys, as usual. They think that their precious little console is the only place that you should be able to play these games. You should have to pay $500 or £450, actually no, correction, £480 now in the UK. The paywall you have to go through to play their games, which is ridiculous. I myself have a PS5, I can play them day and date on the PlayStation 5, but if I had the option to get them on PC day one, PC is where I would play. Because I've recently been playing God of War 2018 again on the PC, and the experience is so much better. For me personally, not for everyone. I don't say everyone go out there and buy a PC, but you should play on what you play and enjoy where you play your games. But this PlayStation fanboy we're going to have a look at today is just coping. For some weird reason, coping with the fact that PlayStation games are all coming to PC. Why or why I don't know, but let's get into it.
Hermen Hulst, head of Sony Interactive Entertainment's Worldwide Studios, just did a juicy interview, and trust me, you do not want to miss what he had to say. Plus, Sony launches a brand new loyalty program, PlayStation Stars in North America, and the PlayStation VR 2 is rumored to be getting a major game. All this and much, much more in today's edition of the Salty's PlayStation News Report. Cue the intro.
Yes, Herman Hulst does have some shocking news and interesting news, but not for you, obviously. What the fuck is that intro? Come on, that is the cheesiest thing I've ever seen.
Have you guys ever seen that Dos Equis commercial with the most interesting man in the world? Well, that's Herman Hulst, in my opinion.
Herman Hulst, the most interesting man in the world. You have very low standards, my friend.
The dude just looks like he's cool, alright? He's taking pictures on yachts. Having parties in different countries, and now he's doing interviews.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
But enough about Hermes' life. Let's talk about this interview. The interview can be found on Axios.com. It's Axios Gaming. Shout out to them. And Herman Hulst did this interview, and there's lots to take away here. And I'm going to highlight some of the interesting things. The number one thing that I took away from this is the fact that PlayStation will not be launching their first-party titles day and date on PC.
Oh no, not yet. But it's not going to be long now, is it? Gonna be day and date soon. They're heading towards it.
No matter how hard the Xbox extremists pray to Phil Spencer that it's happening, it is not going to be happening when it comes to their big AAA blockbuster single-player games. Herman Hulst said this himself. Let's take a look at that clip.
PlayStation will always be the best place to play. We as PlayStation Studios have a very symbiotic relationship with the platform. We're often the first developers to try new hardware, to try new controllers. We take great pride in that, and we are really excited that we get that role. We kind of are. We represent the game development community within Sony, so we love that. I think it's been really great for the teams to see their wonderful creations also being released on PC, often with the help of our newly acquired team here in Utrecht, the Netherlands, Nixies. there are more players, and that's really helpful. I think going forward, we'll see at least a year between releases on our own platform, on PlayStation, and on the PC platform, possibly with the exception of live service games.
Ooh, and I wonder why that is, Herman. It's because the live service games are going to rake in money. So bring them day and date to PC and having that massive player count is going to bring Sony a lot of money.
Live service games are a little bit different in nature, because you want to have really strong community, strong engagement right away, right when you go live. So we might, in the case of our live service offerings, go day and date with PC and the PlayStation platform.
This is an obvious Saltiest Gaming, but that stated that, yeah, we want more money. Simple.
PlayStation will always be the best place to play. That's how Herman started his answer when he was asked the question, and he continued forward to say that the teams get the hardware before anybody. Obviously, with these next-gen consoles, they're able to have a closed platform, and it's a symbiotic relationship is the way he coined it. I appreciate PlayStation for treating their console as the #1 platform. They continue to do that. When Xbox decided to drop its titles not only in Game Pass but PC day and date, it devalues the platform.
What? What the f?
How does it devalue a console? I mean, not everyone wants to go and drop money on a PC. Not everyone wants to go and drop money on a PlayStation or an Xbox. People just want to buy one box to play their games and be able to play every game that's out there. Is that not so hard to believe?
The console itself, and not only that, the reason why I don't want PlayStation to go day and date with its first party titles, number one, it's not feasible from a business standpoint to spend that much money on these big AAA blockbuster games and then release them on a subscription service day and date. But that's kind of beyond the point here. What happens when you develop for PC at the same time? It stretches your resources out and you're not able to optimize efficiently when you do have just the closed platforms. Multiple developers have spoken on this. Is one of the reasons why Cyberpunk 2077 had so many issues. They were developing for last gen consoles, PC, next gen was down the road. When you have one platform to develop for, especially a closed platform like the console, it's just a lot easier to optimize and get the best out of your performance.
Okay, one, Cyberpunk was a mess across the board. Didn't run on last gen consoles, current gen consoles. It ran best on PC, but it was still a mess. Now it's fixed. Two, Sony got Nixies, a dedicated PC port developer, so the resources are not stretched from the developers working on the first party titles. So Nixies is there in the background working on the PC port, while the main developers such as Guerrilla Games are working on the actual game itself. So yes, the resources are not stretched. I mean, no, the resources are not stretched one bit.
Now, it's no secret that Sony and PlayStation have emphasized their stance that they want to do more when it comes to live service games. And one of the big takeaways from this interview as well is that PlayStation is going to be doing more live service games, and those are going to be dropping day and date on PC. Now, if you've been following the channel or the podcast for any period of time, you would have known that I've said simply that I saw that this was going to be the route long time ago. I said it was going to be a year in between releases on PC when it comes to their big first party titles. And then not only that, when it comes to multiplayer, they're going to do those day and date on PC because the PC has a huge player base. And when it comes to live service multiplayer games, in this market, you need to have a free-to-play platform that's available everywhere.
Oh, you're lying. I remember when they announced God of War 2018 for the PC. You were absolutely screaming and kicking in one video. Let's go.
What's up, PlayStation Nation? Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are doing awesome. I'm not doing so well. Let's just put it that way. Kratos, my favorite game character of all time, is heading over to that dirty PC Master Race.
You see what I mean? They struggle to
Keep that same energy.
Seeing this with games like Overwatch that switch to free to play. If you want to have consistent player bases and make the most money, that's what you have to do in this market. One of the things that I was disappointed with in this interview is it looks like PlayStation's going to continue to support the PlayStation 4 versions of games moving into 2023 and beyond. We're not going to forget or let Lion Jim Ryan off the hook when he said, "We believe in generations before the PlayStation 5 first came out." And of course, the PlayStation platform is the premier place least when it comes to next-gen titles, because let's be honest, the Xbox Series consoles don't have next-gen titles because of their stance on cross-gen games.
Okay, now that's twice you've mentioned Xbox. Now what's wrong with cross-gen games? More people get to play. I think it's a good thing that Sony keep developing for the PlayStation 4. They have Bluepoint there to polish up the PlayStation 5 versions of the titles, which on the God of War Ragnarok going gold, they put it on Twitter the other day. Bluepoint was mentioned in the picture, so I'm guessing Bluepoint are the ones refining the PlayStation 5 version. That's only off the top of my head, I don't really know. But what the hell is wrong with supporting the last gen for as long as possible, considering there is millions and millions of players still on that PS4 platform?
It's disappointing in the fact that we're going to continue to have cross-gen support, and what this does is it just stretches not only the generation out, but we're not going to be getting those next-gen only titles that take full advantage of the hardware that we spent lots of money on. This is disappointing to me, but at the end of the day, when you have the best developers in the industry like Naughty Dog, Insomniac, and the likes, that kind of makes up for the cross-gen situation, because it doesn't matter how much money or resources you pour into engines or creations of games. If you don't have the best developers, it doesn't mean anything. Case in point, 343 Industries and the debacle of Halo Infinite. They spent millions and millions of dollars on a new engine, etc., but they're not getting next-gen visuals out of that game and likes, if that makes sense.
Again, throw an Xbox under the bus. Okay, Halo Infinite was a bit of a shit show with content, but the graphics on PC were absolutely amazing and the gameplay was really good. It's just a shame that they didn't provide the content that we all wanted.
Hopefully, if recent reports are to be believed, chip shortages are being resolved. More and more PlayStation 5 consoles are being available around the world. There's a rumor out there that PlayStation is aiming to produce over 30 million PlayStation 5s in fiscal year 2023. So if you don't have a console at this point, there's a good chance that you'll be able to get one in 2023. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of this interview? What do you think of PlayStation's push into the games as a service realm multiplayer space day and date on PC? And what do you think of this year timeline that Herman put out there for their featured games going to PC? Do you think it's too short? Do you think eventually they'll go day and date? I personally don't think they will because of their business model, but things can change. Of course, they're businesses, so they can do whatever they want. I want to hear from you. Let's talk about it.
What I think is they are eventually going to come day and date, and you lot are going to be coping so hard with it, it's going to be absolutely hilarious. But for now, with the games as a service, I'm interested to see what Sony have got. I'm actually excited to see what they bring to the table. Some more multiplayer games will be fun for everyone. And it will be interesting to see what they do on the PC part, because with PlayStation, you have to pay for PlayStation Plus. On the PC, we don't have to pay to play online. Only our ISP we have to pay for. I know the ponies are coping with this already. I've seen it in his latest podcast. There's a few ponies pissed off with the fact that they have to pay to play online and the PC people don't. And we'll see how that one pans out.
In other news, PlayStation's loyalty rewards program, PlayStation Stars, is out for the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Now in North America, it's a loyalty program that can be accessed through the PlayStation app. If you are a PlayStation gamer, all you got to do is opt into the program. You can do this online or through the PlayStation app. And essentially what this is, it's a program for PlayStation gamers where you can use your gaming skills to collect unique digital collectibles and earn rewards. You can complete campaigns, earn points, and show off your collectibles and digital display case on the PlayStation app as a way of celebrating your love of play and PlayStation experiences. They have different things that you can click on to get extra points, like playing certain games. You have a level, the highest level.
Okay, so this is essentially what you can do on Steam already, but without having to pay for it. And no loyalty program or bullshit like that. Getting collectibles is cool for playing your games and buying games, but there's no problem with that. But it should be just part of the system already. You shouldn't have to apply for it. I think it's quite stupid. This part of the video, I'm not too interested in. He just keeps rambling on about it. Then he talks about PlayStation VR with the possibility of Half-Life Alyx coming to PlayStation VR, which I think that is really cool. I don't have VR myself. I'd really like to try Half-Life Alyx, but for one game, I'm not going to spend £500+ for a VR headset. There's no chance I'm going to do that. So that's about it for that video. Saltius Gaming has a weird take on games coming to PC day and date, possibly. He's coping with the fact a lot of PlayStation fanboys are doing it. I mean, I could spend most of the week making videos on their weird takes on games coming to PC. I don't know why they have such a big problem with it. Why they don't like other people playing games, I have no idea. They just want you to drop £500 plus on a box just to play their first party titles. I'd rather if you could just play the games wherever the hell you want to play them. That'll do it for me today. I've got to go to work in a bit. I'm not looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, like, comment below what you think. I'm rambling now. Okay, that'll do it for me. Goodbye.
Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus.